A very good, happy Tuesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather or not forecast, courtesy of On Target. Getting a look out there, folks, we've got a cold front that has blasted south and east of the region throughout the overnight, is allowing for some winds to come in here out of the north and remain out of that direction. Now, we do have an area of high pressure that will be meandering off to the east here as we work throughout the day. It's going to keep that northerly wind component in check. That is what has resulted in those skies clearing, but it is going to be much colder than what we've been experiencing here in and around the Wobbles community. Barren River Lake Skycam on our WPBM tower down in Allen County, overlooking a beautiful sunrise underneath those crystal clear skies early this morning. Same can be said overlooking the Gold City Skycam, courtesy of Sexton Bin Builders. Got a beautiful sunrise there with not a cloud in the sky. This is how we're going to be working throughout much of today, folks. But again, it is going to be chillier in the great outdoors. That is a promise. Temperatures have tanked out there. We're underneath a freeze warning. We are right around and just below the freezing mark in some locations. Still sitting at 34 down here in Simpson County over into Logan County. These temperatures should drop a few more degrees, so protect those plants out there over the next few hours before those temperatures begin to rebound. But I will tell you ahead of time, we've already been reissued a freeze warning again tonight on into Wednesday morning, so be aware of that. Taking a look here at the latest surface map, cold front is now settling well south of the region. We got that area of high pressure to our north that's going to skirt a little bit to the east, and as it does so, it's going to be bringing those winds out of the south and east as well. Why is that? Well, with areas of high pressure, we have clockwise flow. That's what's going to escort in those northeasterly winds here across the region. We're starting off this morning with some gusty breezes out there of the magnitude of 10 to 15, 20 miles an hour in some instances. With a cold front down to our south, as you can see here, by the time we roll into mid-morning on into midday, those winds are going to get much, much lighter here in and around our region. We're going to continue to keep the winds at bay as we work throughout the day. Maybe a little bit more throughout the overnight, but not much to worry about whatsoever. The temperatures, that's what we're talking about. It's going to be on the colder side of things. Here we are looking at this morning. We're all the way down into the 30s region-wide. We're going to top out this afternoon somewhere around the mid and upper 40s. It's going to be chilly out there despite the sunshine. Don't let it deceive you. Light northerly wind component bringing a little bit of crispness to the air out there. Definitely not going to feel like a middle of spring day. That is for sure. And as we work throughout the overnight again, we're going to have temperatures falling throughout the 30s, thus the issuance of another freeze warning throughout the overnight into the pre-dawn hours and even shortly after sunrise on Wednesday. Getting a look here at the big picture, we've got this trough that's meandering here off of the east coast, and then we got a ridge that's going to try to build in here from the west, but very quickly, got this area of low pressure that originates over and near Omaha, over in Nebraska, and then plows eastward. We look to stay dry throughout our Wednesday during the daylight hours, but as we get into our Wednesday night on into our Thursday, as you can see here, we get the arrival and the opportunity of some rain and storm chances impacting the region. And the good news is we are not anticipating any sort of severe weather to come along with this. With a cold front blasting through here, we could get some rumbles of thunder coming along with that, along with some moderate and heavy rain showers. The good news is with a moderate progression of the system, it is rather progressive, so we're going to be looking at this getting out of our hair, those of us with it, that is, rather quickly. So with it not hanging around very long, we're not going to have too much in terms of adding insult to injury to our flooding concerns. Folks, we got aerial flooding that is still relieving across the region, but our river flooding still remains at the top of our concern in regards to that, with the historical series of weather events we experienced here over the past 5 to 7 days, all right? Here's a little bit closer view. As we work throughout today, we're going to stay dry as a bone. Same throughout the overnight and then into our Wednesday as well. You will note as we work throughout the day, we got forcing up here to our north. We might catch a stray sprinkle during the Wednesday afternoon time frame, but it's not going to be till that better forcing arrives along with the cold front. after sunset, you will see we get the rain and storm chances arriving right here out of the north and west. Again, folks, severe clear. We're not expecting any sort of severe weather out of this, but you might catch some rumbles of thunder, so please be aware of that. The initial round's going to move out of here by roughly 6 a.m. right around sunrise on Thursday morning. But folks, as we work into Thursday afternoon and evening, you'll look here to our west at the end of our short-term model guidance. And we get another short wave that's going to dive in here out of the north and west. It's going to be keeping storms around in the Thursday afternoon and particularly Thursday evening time frame. So please be aware of that. Looking at the big picture after we get this weather maker out of here, we're going to clear this out. We're going to look at a nice warm up throughout the weekend. We're going to have high pressure that's going to set up to our south both Saturday and Sunday. Clockwise flow is going to be bringing winds out of the south and west. It should warm us up nicely out there underneath sunshine for a beautiful weekend to enjoy. And I'll be the first to say it, by golly, we deserve it. All right. So hopefully we can get out there and soak up some vitamin D. And then very quickly, as we get into Monday on into Tuesday, we get a cold front that passes through here, bringing another round of potentially showers and a few thunderstorms along with it. And then high pressure is going to build back in. And by the time we roll into a week from Friday on into the weekend, another low pressure system and cold front passing through here. We'll keep eyes on that. But folks, it doesn't like anything significant here in the long-term period here over at least the next couple of weeks. All right, getting back to what our focus is on, and we have the dangerous river flooding that we are continuing to try to attempt to manage and deal with. Good news is Woodbury, you've already crested yesterday afternoon. We should see that on the downfall, but the bad news is it's not going to be until we get into the Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday night time frame that we're finally going to exit major flood stage. Over into the Rochester area, water's going to continue to rise. Folks, we've seen some images over there. It is not good whatsoever. We're going to be cresting right around 53 feet, and that's not going to be arriving until the mid and late afternoon hours of today. And folks, it's going to stay at peak major flood stage at least until the mid to late afternoon hours on Friday, unfortunately. Looking at the Thursday time frame, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather across southern middle Tennessee down into Mississippi and Alabama. We'll be keeping eyes on this, but I think it'll remain to our south with just a generalized thunderstorm risk here across the viewing area. Total rainfall amounts, it's going to be coming along with this anywhere from 1/4 of an inch up to 1/2 an inch. And this will be for Wednesday night all the way through Friday morning. And again on Monday with that little cold front that's going to be working through here as well. Your full 6-day weather forecast, we have rays of sunshine today. Don't let it deceive you. It's going to stay cold. Many of us won't be escaping the 40s for highs. Freeze warning overnight with lows dipping down between the upper 20s and lower 30s. Mid 60s underneath sunshine on Wednesday. It's going to be breezy though ahead of that cold front. Likely rain showers, a few rumbles of thunder Wednesday night, continuing into our Thursday with highs near 70 before the cold front passes. We'll be back down to the upper 50s on Friday with isolated rain showers clearing out, setting us up for a beautiful warming trend underneath a big ball of fire for the weekend. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Tuesday morning weather or not forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of